Was just talking to one of our other team members, and we were talking about the self-admitted failures of business owners when it comes to hiring, where they admit that they're kind of not great at hiring, and yet they continue to make hiring decisions, kind of perpetuating the problem. And we were talking about how having a great process, a better recruiting and hiring process, kind of breaks that cycle. But the first question is, why is it that business owners oftentimes struggle with hiring? And it's because we hire people who look like us. So if we've got a very charismatic, visionary business owner and they're hiring people that look like them, some of the things, the frustrations that we hear post hire, maybe 90, 180 days in, are they don't follow through. They won't do the paperwork the correct way. They're cutting corners, and it's because they're built a lot like the business owner. If we have a business owner who's very methodical, very process oriented, the frustrations will often sound like there's not a lot of intensity. There's no urgency around getting this done. They overthink things. We can't seem to get to a decision, and it's because they're wired a lot like the business owner, and that's why they were hired. Because we like the person in the mirror. We like to hire people who look like us. So a process helps short circuit that gut instinct default to hire people who look like us. And good systems processes around hiring just create intentionality about what does this job require, what's the kind of person that we're looking for, what are the specific skill sets, what are the demonstrated competencies that need to be able to call references and validate that those are actually there. Even sometimes personality types lend themselves to certain positions better, and a good process is going to get those assessments. It's going to cause us to think through those things and then check those boxes. And then the other thing about a process is that it allows the business owner not to remove themselves entirely, but to remove themselves to a great extent from parts of the process so they don't gum up the works. And then finally, requiring yourself to go through a process means that you give it the time that it needs to get the absolute best candidate. It's very, very difficult to look at an empty seat, to look at a position that's underperforming that you're trying to replace, or to just feel the pain of other people having to do all this work because we don't have the person yet. And we let that pain in the moment drive a decision too quickly that winds up not being the right decision. And then we pay with far more pain down the road. So, having the process that we've all committed to ensures that we're going to give it the right amount of time. And frankly, one of the big values of having somebody recruit and vet others candidates for you and then bring the best ones to the table is that they're not experiencing the pain of having that empty seat. There's not any urgency for the outside party to be bringing the best candidate forward other than finding the best candidate as quickly as possible. So they're kind of insulated from that pressure to just fill the seat. If you struggle with hiring, if you're frustrated as a CEO at some of the hires you've made, and you want to see what the process we looks like that we use with clients, just put something in the comments. I'll be happy to send it over to you.